Mayor. I'm so excited in welcoming the amazing youth from Books and Buckets here to City Hall. This is an organization that is growing and making a difference in our Washington neighborhood here in the First District. I want to let them know that their advocacy matters. One advocacy at a time, one member at a time. All of your advocacy is important. And you don't know this, but we pay attention. I know that one day I was looking through Instagram and I saw an Instagram post where they were advocating, or you gentlemen were advocating for new nets in the 14th Street Park. And immediately I was able to contact our director, and I'm happy to say that today we have new nets at Washington neighborhood at 14th Street Park because of your advocacy. Now that's just a small amount of what you do, but it wasn't that you came to me, but you're advocating for it, and people do listen to your advocacy. And so I wanted to share that with you. Another thing that you have continuously advocated for is a community center in the Washington neighborhood. And I think that that's amazing, and you had a vision for it. You came to me with that. And I'm happy to say that it's not only my priority to deliver that, but it's also our new mayor's priority to deliver that. And I think it's all wonderful, and it's all because of your continuous advocacy for that neighborhood. With that, I'd like to lend the rest of my time to Books and Buckets. Thank you for being here.
All right. Thank you, Mayor and City Council, for allowing us to present. We all grew up playing at the 14th Street Courts. Us and other youth from Books and Buckets have thought of improvements to make them better. We have made this presentation that talks about our vision plan, existing conditions of the courts, how youth and community were engaged, and what improvements we want to see. Our vision for these courts have been fully youth-led. We see these improvements as beneficial for our futures and the future of the youth coming into the neighborhood. We have identified these improvements over the course of a year and a half. We launched Books and Buckets in May of 2021 and began identifying some improvements in our Youth Academy program evaluation. We hosted a gang violence prevention panel at Seaside Park during our Youth Action program, where we heard that key investments such as neighborhood improvements can reduce gang violence. We hosted group discussions and learned about park equity. We learned that East Long Beach parks were given $23 million from the state for parks improvements, while parks in our part of the city remained unfunded. Lastly, we hosted our final 14th Street Court visioning activity at the downtown library. This brings us to our meeting with you today.
We use different sources to collect some of this information, such as the LA County Park Needs Assessment, the U.S. Census, and our own experiences. There are about 9,000 people who live in the Washington neighborhood. Over 30% of those people are children between 0 and 17 years old. Our neighborhood has some of the highest rates of asthma, pollution, and violence. Lastly, over 2,000 people over the age of 25 do not have a high school diploma. These court improvements can do more than just give us a place to play basketball. Current and future youth can see that our neighborhood is cared about. It can build up our health and give us an outlet to focus more on school and fight the violence in our community. According to the LA County Park Needs Assessment, the Washington neighborhood is a high need and very high need area. Even though our courts were listed as fair in 2016, we believe the quality has gone down since then. You also notice certain things missing, such as bathrooms and a community center. When walking through the 14th Street courts, you can see there is a lack of water fountains, a lot of unused space, uneven courts, full of the water when it rains. The courts are cracked and need repainting, and the backboards and hoops need to be changed. Thank you.
As mentioned earlier by Edric, we gathered ideas for our vision plan over a year and a half. We collected evaluations from our programs, surveys on how to improve the neighborhood from community members, group discussions at our Books and Bucket sessions, and visioning activities. We have identified improvements to the 14th Street core, such as buildings, bathrooms, re-leveling the core surfaces, redesigning the core surfaces with Books and Buckets youth, installing more water fountains, and replacing the nets, backboards, and rims. There are other improvements listed in this presentation. A major improvement we identified for the overall park and neighborhood is to find a place for our community centers to host programs.
We have some current supporters of our entire program and our park improvement efforts, such as City Fabric, Habitat for Humanity, and the Arts Council for Long Beach. We have planned on convincing our neighborhood to identify committee members who want to see these improvements. That was our presentation. Thank you, Mayor and City Council, for allowing us to present. Now I'd like to introduce Aislinn, Michaela, and Mr.
Hello, my name is Aislinn Martinez. I am 14 years old. I am a student athlete with Books and Buckets. I grew up in Montebello and came to Long Beach last year. I am a part of Books and Buckets because I want to learn to play better and be an example to younger youth or others my age. The Washington neighborhood and 14th Street courts are important to me because it is where I live and the courts are where I play. I want to see improvements at the 14th Street courts because I want to feel safe and to see my neighborhood improve. Thank you.
My name is Michaela Neal. I am 11 years old. I'm a youth leader with Books and Buckets. I grew up in Los Angeles, but now I live in Long Beach. I am a part of Books and Buckets because I want to stop the violence in the neighborhood and play basketball. The Washington neighborhood and 14th Street courts are important to me because I play there. I want some improvements because it's in bad shape. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Mr. I am 17 years old, and I am with Books and Buckets. I am a Books and Buckets youth leader and student athlete. I am one of many great leaders in Books and Buckets while also finishing on my last year of high school. I grew up in LA, but now live in the Century Villages. I initially just signed up with Books and Buckets, but what keeps me going is knowing when I walk into the gym, it's work time. Not just on the court either. We start off working for our community, which then leads us into working against each other. So we can build each other up. The things I love about the Washington neighborhood is Books and Buckets. With the great coaches and teammates inviting me in with no worries, I've been able to stamp my name into visions and work. Let me start. With these great coaches and teammates inviting me in with no worries, I've been able to stamp my name into visions. With the help of my peers, we are only growing and going to keep growing. We are only going to keep growing and make things better. I am not from the 14th Street area, but since starting Books and Buckets, they've been real cool with me helping and add ideas to build off theirs and improve their home and community. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I am bursting with pride, and I just want to thank all of you young men and young women who had the courage to come up and speak. I know sometimes it could be a little nerve-wracking, but that is one of the things I love about Books and Buckets is they give you the opportunity not only to present such a wonderful presentation like this, great job on the presentation, but also to get the experience to come in front of your city council and your mayor to speak about the needs that we have in our Washington neighborhood. So can we give another round of applause for Books and Buckets, please? Thank you for being here.
All right. Thank you, Councilwoman Zendejas. Let's hear it again for these young people.